My parents had a very, I would say, a common way of approaching, I guess, negative aspects of life in terms of coaching and helping my sister and I. Coming from a Samoan background, and I'm sure it's the same for all Pacific Islander families, there was always this no-no for anything. Don't even mention drugs. No, don't ever do it because you'll die. I'm like, what? Okay, sure. Or don't do this for alcohol. Don't do this for, it was just this no, but I always had questions as to why. But deep down inside, I could see in their heart, their intention was to not even allow me to go anywhere near it, because Dad was like the bad boy and Mum was the good girl, the good church girl. And so anytime a conversation like that would happen in the house, Dad would just sort of like withdraw and just not say anything. It's like, I better not share. And then Mum would sort of look at Dad and go, well, don't do some of the things that he would do. And then there would just be this running joke between them. But so their thing was always like, no, don't do it. We love you, trust us. So there's this trust. You just trust them that they know what they're doing.
I had a really open relationship with my parents in terms of communicating about the things that I was looking at, getting interested in, things that were happening at school, the influences from school and from other people going out, and all those sorts of things that happen as you get older and you become a teenager, and the influences around you can really take hold. So I actually was really honest with my parents and said, hey, these things are happening on weekends. I wasn't getting invited to them because I think people knew I probably wouldn't go. So, but I told my parents, and they were really happy, obviously, that I'd come and talk to them about it. But even if I had gone, I knew that I was safe to come home and tell them, and that they would just want me to be safe and want to make sure that I was okay. And if I did have questions, they would answer them.
And I think I hope and pray that's the same from when we talk to our kids. Hopefully it's not just don't do it, but there's this trust that we can have between the girls and I. And
if they do, then they can come to us and...
Yeah. Even though at their age, it's quite scary. Like, you read about the statistics, you listen to the news about some young kid, even in primary school, taking their life just because of cyberbullying. And because it's something that's a part of their life, can also be a tool where they can be bullied into depression and anxiety and self-harm. So, I mean, for myself, coming from a high school teaching background and also working with young people a lot, that's something that stands out in my mind in terms of the cultural issue that I think above all, I think is really scary for me.
For me, when I think about cultural issues that might affect my girls, because they're girls, because I'm a woman, I know what pressures are out there for women, particularly materialistic things, the way you look, what you have, and it's already starting. So we just want to give our girls a really strong sense of who they are for the pressures and for the bullying and for all of that, so that they don't believe those things.
Yeah.
We can't avoid those things, but we hope to give them the tools and skills and the love to know that those things aren't true.
I think it's super important for me as a father of 3 girls. There's the whole like self-image, like, self-esteem and that thing. And being a male myself and being around these sort of social circles, or even circles where you hear conversations that are sort of that downplay female and, body shaming or just, things, character traits. I'm like, man, I hope and pray that we as parents are able to instill in them resilience, confidence in themselves, to know who they are and to not have to worry about some of these comments and things that are shared about them if there are. And I think the importance of being a dad and instilling in them, hey, this is how you should be treated. This is how you should be respected. The one part of my faith that I want my children to take with them or live out in their life is to trust and obey God, that He knows what it's best. And if you obey, if you listen to us, be aware of His presence and how He's moving in your life, then things will work out.